In this presentation, intellectual property, rights, and ethical considerations in research publishing will be considered. At the outset, it is appropriate to consider or to clarify the following concepts related to IPR. The concepts of IPRs cover a wide range of intellectual property which fall under the two main categories of industrial property and literary and artistic works. In addition, there are other emerging areas including traditional knowledge, new plant varieties, biotechnology, economic and moral rights. These are the main types of IBRs, and they provide for each type of intellectual property in the field of industrial property non-exclusive economic rights for the innovations which meet the required conditions which are stipulated in the national laws, and these should be considered to be the minimum standard prescribed by the relevant international instruments, namely the TRIPS agreement, that is the Agreement on Trade-Related Intellectual Property Rights, 1994. In addition to the non-exclusive economic rights, IBRs provide perpetual moral rights to creative, literary, and artistic works which satisfy the needed requirements enumerated in the relevant national laws. Justifications of economic and moral incentives. The grant of non-exclusive economic and perpetual rights to owners of innovative works in the field of industrial property and literary and artistic works is meant to reward the owners of each of these works the incentive for the creative works which they have produced to the community. Thereby, IBRs is meant to achieve the following objectives: encouragement of new innovations by granting limited monopoly, that is by granting patents to creative works, and to ensure the provision of innovative and useful inventions in addition to artistic and literary works to the society. Therefore, protection of IBRs is considered to be necessary for sustainable economic and social development as it enhances the development of R&D. Importance of a strict scrutiny for the grant of IBRs. The underlying objectives of IBRs, by and large, rest on the existence of strict scrutiny legal measures for the award of IBRs for various types of intellectual property. In addition, only creative innovations in the field of inventions which satisfy the conditions of novelty, newness, inventive step, non-repugnancy to public health, public interest, and usefulness shall be eligible for the award of patents. In addition, works in the field of copyright and neighboring rights must meet the required conditions under the relevant national laws for the grant of the needed protection as stipulated in the relevant national laws. Precautionary measures before publishing research. Before publishing any high quality research in the various fields of IB, the following must be considered seriously. Protection under the relevant national and or international regulatory measures to preserve the prerequisites of novelty and newness. So before publishing any research which may involve any results or useful results, creative and innovative results that can be patented, such research must be published in reputable peer-reviewed journal nationally or internationally to preserve the components of novelty and usefulness, which is considered to be one of the prerequisites for awarding patent. Second, it's important to publish the high quality research in reputable peer-reviewed journals. Avoidance of publishing in predatory journals, which solicit for publication and do not adhere to the principles of transparency and peer review, which are adhered to by reputable journals. This is so important in order to avoid any unwarranted risk. Advantages of the precautionary measures. The precautionary measures serve numerous objectives, including to secure the components of newness, novelty, and usefulness, which are considered as prerequisites for the grant of patents and for the protection of literary and artistic works, in line with the applicable national and international laws. To enable owners of patents and protectable copyright works to exploit the same for personal legitimate objectives, including licenses of these creative works and submission for promotion in case of those who are affiliated to universities, research centers, and institutes of high learning, and to facilitate the process of evaluation to promotion committees in universities, research centers, and institutes of higher. Advantages of publishing in reputable peer-reviewed journals. In relation to research meant for academic promotion in universities, research centers, or institutes of high learning, publishing high quality research in reputable peer-reviewed journals serve the following objectives. First, ensuring the satisfaction of the requirement of code publishing in reputable peer-reviewed journals and code as required by almost all regulations relating to academic promotion. For example, according to University of Khartoum regulations for the promotion of academic staff 2014, one of the requirement for the promotion for the academic staff is the satisfaction of the aforesaid proviso. Second, securing ownership of patentable inventions for owners who are affiliated to universities and research institutes and intend to submit their patents for promotion purposes. In addition to high quality research, patents are also stimulated in the U of K promotion regulations as one of the important components for academic promotion. Ineffectiveness and or laxity of IB regulatory measures. Ineffectiveness in terms of weak enforcement and or inadequacy of IB regulatory measures. For instance, lack of substantive examination of inventions for the grant of patents and non-observance of the ethical aspects of for the grant of patents or registration of works in the field of literary and artistic works at the national level usually result in the grant of weak patents that are prone to claims of invalidation based on lack of novelty and usefulness. Such claims may be brought by any person since they are considered to be public interest litigations. Protected works in the field of copyright and neighboring rights can also lose protection in case of submission of successful claims which establish lack of creativity and non-compliance with the prerequisites of public interest and ethical considerations, repugnancy or contradictions with the ethical aspects. Like patents and protected copyright materials declared to be invalid will also be invalidated by the competent promotion committees if they have been submitted for academic promotion in case claims for invalidation have been submitted in line with the relevant regulations. Consequences of weak research evaluation by promotion committees. Ineffectiveness and non-adherence to strict evaluation measures by promotion committees is likely to lead, among others, to the following unwarranted results. First, acceptance of low quality research published in predatory journals, which usually solicit for publications and do not observe ethical and scientific criteria that are followed by reputable peer-reviewed journals. Second, potential claims for the invalidation of promotion decisions for reasons of non-compliance with the strict evaluation criteria, including the ethical aspects. Third, tarnishing or damaging the reputation and academic ranking of the university, research center, or learning institute. So there is a correlation between high academic ranking and high quality research publications in peer-reviewed journals with high impact. Increasing threat of predatory journals. With the increasing number of predatory journals, especially those published online, it is significant for the promotion committees in universities, research centers, and other competent authorities to adopt strict evaluation measures in the process of evaluating scientific papers presented for academic promotion. Likewise, it is important to adopt certain indicators, most important, the 16 principles for identifying predatory journals, which will be clarified later on. And any publication, for example, in a journal that lacks distinguished editorial board shall be considered of no value, and such a journal should be considered as a predatory one. Indicators for identifying predatory journals. Predatory journals are known by, among others, for the following. They exploit the intellectual effort of researchers for money and provide inadequate, false, or no information about publication fees, invite publications from scholars and researchers through unsolicited email email messages, infringe the content and titles of legitimate journals, low layout quality and poor language, non-compliance with ethical requirements, especially in relation to human and animal research, inadequate and false reporting of policies related to copyright and other IPRs. These indicators are well clarified and explained in the 16 principles of transparency and best practice in scholarly publishing. Principles of transparency and best practice in scholarly publishing. The indicators for identifying predatory publishers and publishing are well coined, explained, and conceptualized in the 16 principles of transparency and best practice in scholarly publishing, which were declared by the following associations: the Open Access Scholarly Publishers Association, the Directory of Open Access Journals, the Committee on Publication Ethics, and the World Association of Medical Editors, with the objective to facilitate identification of predatory journals. These are available under the title Science Editing and Open Access article under the terms of Creative Commons Attribution License 2019 Korean Council of Science Editors, available at the website www.escienceediting.org. In short, the 16 principles focuses on the following. First, the website. Usually the website of predatory journals give false or inaccurate informations in relation to their metrics, indexing, etc. Two, the name of journal usually is confusing with that of another, also as far as the scope. Uh, Third, there is no peer review process is clearly mentioned. Fourth, the ownership and management, the information given as far as owner and management, either false or inaccurate. Fifth, the governing body, also the information given in relation to they are either wrong or misleading. Third, the editorial team or contact information are usually missing, or usually you find that the editorial team is the editor-in-chief himself. Seven, copyright and licensing policies are usually missed or not mentioned. The same is true with the author fees. Also, the process for identification of research misconduct and dealing with allegations of research misconduct not clearly stated. Also, there is no mentioning about the publication ethics, no mentioning about the publication schedule. Also, there is no explanation as far as how access to the journal can be made. Also, there is no archiving system despite such claims. To the contrary, there is no revenue mentioning to the revenue sources or business models. Also, the advertising policy is usually not mentioned. Also, there is no statement about direct marketing, or the information given is misleading or inaccurate. Final remarks and recommendations. Non-existence of strict IB system and or weak enforcement of existing regulatory measures in the various fields of IB will not secure production of genuine innovations and creative works that are immune from claims of invalidation, which, upon successful establishment and proof, would result in the withdrawal of any granted patents. A revocation of any promotion decision made by a competent promotion committees, if such decision was not in conformity with the strict stimulated research evaluation criteria. Towards ensuring production of genuine innovations which merit the grant of undisputable patents and securing high quality research, the following are recommended. First, it is significant to have in place a vigorous and a strong IB regulatory and institutional measures at the national level, as well as special adapted IP policies in universities, research centers, and institutes of high learning to promote R&D in line with the ethical prerequisites and to protect the IBRs of various stakeholders, including staff, researchers, students, and other collaborators in research programs. Undertake the process of research evaluation in accordance with, among others, the principles of transparency and best practice in scholarly publishing. Raise the awareness, among others, among researchers, staff, and students in universities and research centers on the principles of transparency and best practice in scholarly publishing.